In early May 1986, Joan Rivers picked up the phone to call the man who made her a star. But Johnny Carson did not take the call, and he never spoke to her again. Not after her show collapsed, not after her husband died, not after she rebuilt her life, not even on his deathbed. For 21 years, Joan had been more than a guest. Johnny had laughed with her, trusted her, even trusted her behind his desk. And then, almost overnight, it all ended. None of it made sense. Unless you go back to 1965. Joan Rivers grew up in Larchmont, New York. By 31, she was living paycheck to paycheck, telling jokes in small clubs and wondering if the breakthrough was ever coming. She had auditioned for The Tonight Show 7 times. Every time, the answer was no. Until one February night in 1965 when a comic bombed, and Bill Cosby gave the bookers her name. Within minutes of her set, Johnny Carson was laughing so hard he had to wipe tears from his eyes. He waved her over to the couch and told her, on live television, she was going to be a star. A year later, Joan came back, and here's what she told him.
I haven't seen you since New Year's.
Yeah, Happy New Year.
Happy. Was it happy?
Well, it was different. Last year, a lot's happened in a year. Last year I was home alone with no job, watching you, on television. And, which is, you were funny, but it's sad. And this year I'm married, and I was out with my husband to a formal party, and we watched you on television.
Oh, no.
And then she did this.
He is up. I've never seen anybody move so fast. He's like up like a... And he whips out that cigarette and he gives it to her, and I was ashamed, my lip was still bleeding. And...
That night was the start of something rare. The laughs, the trust, a friendship the country would watch for the next 21 years. The kind of connection late-night television almost never saw. If this brings back your memories, subscribe. We share stories like this every week. By the early 70s, Joan Rivers was no longer fighting to get on Carson's stage. She was becoming one of the few guests who could walk out and change the temperature of the room. Every few months she came back, and each time, Johnny seemed a little less in control. In 1972, Joan was 39. She had 2 TV specials behind her, a daughter at home, and a husband Johnny had introduced her to. That night, Johnny could barely get her introduction out.
First guest is a dear friend. She's one of the original. You see, I was ahead of myself. You ever do that? You're thinking of the next word? Yes. What's that called? Oh, would you welcome? Who was I introducing? Oh, Joan Rivers. Yes. Aren't they great? Great audience tonight.
Laughing at anything is a pleasure.
Yeah, you
no
look...
offense.
No, they're good food tonight.
Great audience. Yes.
You look very svelte.
Thank you.
Very svelte.
A few minutes later, Johnny brought up something that reminded them both how far back this went.
And I was going through a box of material and script and so forth, and I pulled out a script that you had written when you were auditioning for a writer once for The Tonight Show.
For you?
You and another, it was a young man you were writing with.
No, it was Peter Silverman, a girl writer.
Really?
2 of us together. We're very mature.
And I came across this material by Joan Rivers and this other girl's name, and it was about 1964.
A year later, Joan was finding her topics, and Johnny had stopped pretending he could keep up.
I got my hairdresser, Mr. Phyllis, to help me.
He should be rather creative.
Look at this. I should have known. But he claimed that he was very manly. He kept saying to me like, I'm not a sissy. He kept telling me during the war he was in uniform. And I found he was a Rockette.
That's a uniform. He didn't lie.
And then Johnny said it himself.
The guy has done my house.
Well, what does he do? We're going to have to take a break while you pull yourself together here before you start this insane giggling that you get on when you get on this show.
Then it got worse.
But I've never seen mean before.
Yeah.
I had a drunk, well, we've talked about this too. I had a drunk intern deliver me.
Oh, that was, really?
The worst. Johnny, the worst. I mean, he knew I was in show business. I had the baby scream, "One more time." I mean, just like,
Is that the one that had his clothes pinned to his...
By 1975, Joan had her own act, her own following, and her own corner of the show.
A woman doctor made me well.
Can't imagine you going to a woman doctor because you don't like nurses generally. But...
No, and I don't like women doctors after this, but she took my thermometer, my temperature with a meat thermometer. So originally I didn't... As you get undressed, she's going tacky.
The same night, she found a way to bring up the president.
I tried very hard, but he's not colorful. Everyone gets so tight. I'm doing a life-size painting of him. I'm going to send to him on velvet. I bought it at Thrifty Drugs. And it's all by number.
Oh, really?
His face is 11s. It's very interesting, his whole face.
3 years later, Joan was 45. She was headlining Vegas, writing her own material, raising a teenager, and still coming back to the same couch in Burbank.
I'm telling you, how can you... my marriage, there's no romance left.
Oh, come on.
Last time there was any sexual,
Yeah.
He was doing push-ups and I slid in. And otherwise,
By now, the jokes were getting bolder.
I was the gynecologist this afternoon. All I kept thinking is, what if there's a hidden camera? I was so nervous. Hi there, Miss Rivers. Just awful.
That would be kind of shabby, I think, taking it that far, but...
Derwin Kirby would jump out,
Yes.
Are you ready for the pap test challenge?
Then she gave him the kind of line he could not recover from.
I went to here comes the kid having hors d'oeuvre. I said, I don't want to see that. Yeah. Run that film backward. Let's see the kid disappear. I don't want to...
Get back in there.
By the end of the 70s, Joan Rivers could make Johnny Carson lose control on his own show. But the laughs were only part of it. The trust was everything. And the next 4 years would be the biggest, the boldest, and the last good ones. By 1979, Joan and Johnny were no longer just host and guest. They had a rhythm, a shorthand. 14 years of timing that let Joan walk into a joke and Johnny know exactly when to get out of the way. That February, Joan brought up something that had been bothering her the whole time.
What's your problem?
14 years in this damn show, you never gave me a gift.
Well,
I just want to talk about it. 14 years, I was hysterical. You never asked me, do I wear red? Go, pull, Sarah.
Then she turned a rock star into a target, and Johnny knew exactly where she was going.
Men, it doesn't matter. A man, and a man can be, I met Mick Jagger.
Yeah?
Some men have great sex appeal, even though, you know what I'm talking about.
Right.
He has lips. Did you ever meet him?
He had big lips.
He could suck an orange across the room.
9 months later, Joan came back to the same couch, but the show had a different feel. Johnny wasn't just hosting her anymore. He was talking with her.
What was your ideal man?
My ideal man?
Yeah, who would you like to really...
Besides Edgar and you two guys.
Of course.
Yeah, anybody.
Then she introduced the audience to someone from Larchmont.
Yeah.
I'm telling you,
Heidi had a bad reputation.
a bad reputation.
Bad, huh?
If she lived in biblical times, Sodom would have been called Heidieville.
That's a tough cookie, yeah.
The only thing upright in her apartment was the vacuum cleaner.
And then she described a night out with a friend.
We went out last night, and I think she's learned her lesson, though, because we ended up at McDonald's, and we had, good spread, and coming out, she got stuck going through the arch, and it was, you don't know. And we had to grease her thighs.
To get her to work.
Edgar pushed, and I held a Twinkie in front.
The 70s were over, but Joan's rhythm on that couch only got sharper.
2 weeks after I was born, she tried to have an abortion. I told you this one. It was ugliest child ever born in Larchmont, New York. Doctor looked at my face, looked at my tush, and screamed, twins. It was just...
Then a familiar name came up.
Grow up. I was on the show that time. The two of you were carrying on.
Well,
She's a nice woman, but let's not carry on, Let's face it,
Well,
she
nice.
cut a wide swath during World War II.
Oh, think so.
Oh, come on. Come on, she has seen more ceilings in Rome than Michelangelo.
The world was watching the royal wedding. So was Joan.
Lady died.
No.
Oh, the queen. The queen.
Yeah. You know, oh,
of
God
course, I know
love
you're
her.
very
Is she
close.
here?
No. She's with Christina. Neither one could make it tonight. So have you talked to the queen lately?
Well, I went there for the engagement party, which
did
was,
not
and we're planning the wedding together.
Yeah.
But, they asked my advice. The engagement party was probably, and like you've been to gorgeous.
Then it was Edgar's turn.
My house, it is so dirty. People wipe their feet when they leave. I hate housework.
You don't like that?
Please. He wants a hot meal. Well, I'm married 14 years. It's all over. You know, in the
What do you mean
beginning.
it's all over now?
Well, in the beginning, he used to cook and clean and carry on. Now, 14 years. He wants a hot meal? Let him sleep with Julia Child. There is nothing.
And then that same name again.
Yeah, because I said right on this show that her thighs were going condo. And I have to say publicly it's not so.
Okay.
She was renting. It's a whole...
You're off the hook.
She was going to sue me for $5 million or 1 year's grocery bills, whichever came first.
By 1982, Joan was 49. Johnny was 56. They had been doing this together for 17 years. And by then, he did not just expect Joan to get laughs. He expected her to take over the room. That year, Joan brought up Christina Onassis.
Did you ever meet her? She has hair. She uses cream rinse on her chest. I never saw... the girl has to be prepped for a tattoo. It's not pretty.
Not pretty.
She uses deodorant on her forehead. This girl is not pretty.
I didn't know that.
And yet, sex appeal.
Yeah?
Married 3 times, which is,
That's
you
true.
know, yeah. I have no sex appeal.
Oh, now you...
Later that night, she pushed the room even higher.
Your gay cousin died in San Francisco, and before he died, he rewrote the Bible. What was his version?
The forbidden fruit was called Danny.
The forbidden fruit was called that. No, that's not too difficult, is it? Once you start it, let us take a break here and compose yourself.
Then the conversation turned back to the first time he ever saw her. And Johnny said something he had only said once before, 17 years earlier.
I came over a couple of weeks ago to see you at the improvisation. I had not seen you in concert for a while, and you were absolutely brilliant.
Well,
I've never laughed so hard in my life in a club at anyone, I don't believe.
Thank you. I was so nervous because you were there.
Oh, you tripled.
You were the first one to tell me I was funny.
I was crying.
Johnny had said it on his own stage. He had never laughed harder. 1 year later, Joan was behind his desk. In 1983, The Tonight Show made Joan Rivers its permanent guest host, the first woman to hold that role. When Johnny was away, Joan brought her own style to the desk. One example came when she interviewed Angie Dickinson.
A woman with a great body. She was born with measurements. I mean, this woman, great and sexy, and the men just go crazy for her.
Yeah, she's a sweet person.
And it's, well, who cares? The point is, would you rather be sweet or have the men go crazy for you? We'll bring on sweet Angie Dickinson. We'll see it.
Then she wanted the truth from Angie.
With sweet Angie Dickinson, right?
Thank you.
What would you rather be known as? What you said before you came out. Would you rather be known as like a sweet lady or a sex bomb?
Oh, no, I'd rather be known as a sex bomb.
Thank God. I thought you were going to give me that BS. I'm ready to be sweet, you know.
I felt that way at one time.
When you were 6.
When I...
And then came the kind of answer Joan knew how to pull out.
Did you date Sinatra?
Yeah.
Oh, tell me. That's
I love
fascinating.
him. I love him. Sure, he's great.
Who broke up with whom?
Oh, I think he dumped me. Sort of, you know. I don't remember.
Oh, you do so. Don't you keep a diary? Oh, sure.
By 1985, Joan had been the permanent guest host for 2 years. For the audience, seeing her behind Johnny's desk was no longer a surprise. That Halloween, she brought out Elvira.
I love your costume.
Thank you very much. I love. Now, is that a costume or is that what you? Is that you?
Yes, Joan, it's on me here. Yeah, this is how I look normally. I unfortunately can't wear a costume for Halloween.
Joan said what she saw.
I keep staring at your chest just out of. Oh.
And I'm a woman. I mean, do men ever see your face? Why put makeup on? It's just like,
And then Elvira said something nobody saw coming.
You won't believe this, but I'm telling you, Joan, I know from first-hand experience, Pee-wee is such a stud. I swear.
Pee-wee?
He is my idea of a hunky guy. I mean, any guy that wears more makeup than me is all right.
By then, Joan had become more than a frequent guest. She was part of The Tonight Show's rhythm, sometimes on the couch and sometimes behind the desk. And that made what came next more complicated. If you've been enjoying this so far, subscribe. We bring stories like this every week. By 1986, Joan was hosting The Tonight Show regularly when Johnny was away. But on April 25th, she walked back onto Carson's stage, this time with Johnny himself in the chair. It was her 21st anniversary on the show. She had a new book out called Enter Talking. Johnny had no idea it was the last time.
Let me show the picture, unless they think you're... Is this the same dress that you wore? Was it 65?
February 17th, 1965. 21 years.
And you had the strand of pearls, the same hairdo, the boa. Look at this. This is from, if you don't believe it, look at me, and then you'll find out the date of this picture.
The hair, the makeup, the Sandra D makeup I was wearing those days.
She had brought him a copy.
It says, she says your baby, and then you have a dedication. Can I read it?
Sure.
It says to Edgar, your husband.
Yeah, I had to do that.
Who made this book happen. Who made this book happen, and to Johnny Carson, who made it all happen. Yeah. Well, that's very sweet of you. That's right. Of course, I didn't make it all happen.
Oh, yes, you did.
And then he said something he had not said in 21 years.
We're putting on the show, but I did say one thing that night, which I have seldom said on this show over the years. You finished your routine, and you were devastating, and the audience was just falling apart, and you walked over and sat down. And I said, you know, you're going to be a big star.
I remember.
And that's something you don't say because it always sounds like, you know, you're just...
And I looked behind me. I couldn't believe you were talking to me.
Yeah.
Then it all ended here.
And tonight, I understand you fly right up to Las Vegas to Caesar's Palace. You're there for...
I'm there for 2 weeks.
There for 2 weeks, and you'll be sitting here next week.
And again, thank you for letting me sit there.
Hey, it's good to see you again.
It's always good to see you.
Okay. Tomorrow night is Saturday. That's right. So have a nice Saturday, and Joan will see you Monday. Good night.
Johnny thought he'd see her on Monday. He never saw her on his stage again. Behind the scenes, Joan's next move was already taking shape. 9 days later, Joan signed a deal with Fox. $15 million. A 5-year guaranteed contract. Her own late-night show. The first woman in American television to ever get one. She kept the deal quiet. Her husband Edgar, the man Carson had introduced her to, advised her not to say anything until the contract was signed. She would later say she was afraid the offer would fall through if word leaked, afraid Johnny might cut her off if he heard from someone else first. So when the news finally went public, it didn't come from Joan. It came from the president of NBC, who called Carson himself. Joan tried to reach him next. The first person I called was Johnny, and he hung up on me, and never, ever spoke to me again. Carson told the press it never happened, that Joan never called. What happened between them? 21 years of laughter ended that week. And for Joan, losing Johnny was just the start of what was coming. 5 months later, The Late Show starring Joan Rivers premiered on Fox. From the start, it struggled. Some affiliates refused to carry it. Guests were hard to book. And in Hollywood, many believed appearing with Joan could damage their standing with Carson. Some inside Carson's circle believed the damage came from how the Fox deal was handled. She handled it terribly. She couldn't have made a worse decision. Peter Lassley, Tonight Show executive producer. 7 months after the premiere, Fox fired Joan and Edgar from the show. 3 months after that, Edgar Rosenberg took his own life. Joan went back to work. She had to. She had a daughter to raise and debts she didn't even know about until Edgar was gone. Then came the week of Carson's farewell in 1992. Joan watched from her own daytime show.
But what it is, I've just figured out, Carson, as you know, is going off this week, and I wasn't asked, here I go. I wasn't asked to come on and say goodbye. I wasn't asked in any way, shape, or form to be part of that with NBC.
And she remembered.
Forever. And indeed it did. It gave me everything, that show. It gave me the right to be funny. It gave me the right to say to my parents, see, I am successful, which is so important when your parents think you're not going to be successful. I met my husband.
Then she said this.
I just want to say, because they won't let me say it on the Tonight Show, I'm just like the Stalin purge. It's like I never was on that show, and that hurts me so much. So I just want to say, the show changed my life. I am totally grateful. I wouldn't be wearing this watch. I wouldn't be wearing this charm bracelet. I wouldn't be having this show without it. So I wish Carson good luck. I don't wish him anything bad. He doesn't like me.
Johnny never spoke to her again. Not in 13 years. Not until the day he died. Johnny Carson had banned Joan Rivers from The Tonight Show. Even after he retired in 1992, the door stayed closed through the Leno and Conan years. Joan refused to disappear. She built it back from nothing. Another talk show, an Emmy, a fashion line, books on every shelf. She showed up everywhere, except the one stage that wouldn't have her. On March 28, 2014, Jimmy Fallon brought Joan back to The Tonight Show, 49 years after Johnny first told her she was going to be a star.
They had sent this big stretch Mercedes limo for us, and it got stuck. It wouldn't move for 2.5 hours. And I'm thinking, the Germans killed 6 million Jews. You can't fix a carburetor?
Joan, now.
That September, Joan Rivers passed away. She was 81 years old. Johnny Carson was right about her the first night he saw her. Joan Rivers became a star. She stayed one for 50 years. They just never spoke again.